Where is the video? Ah, there it is. Okay. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. I don't know if you can hear me. If you can, cool. If not, just doing a test with LiveU Solo with Restream, and it should be outputting to not only onto the YouTube channel for a live stream test, but also the Livestreaming Friends. So at the moment, I can't see any comments yet because I'm still doing some testing. So if I don't reply right away, I apologize in advance. Let's see what this says here. Oh, okay, cool. Hey, Rich. Glad you can hear me. Yeah, it took a little while in that, in trying to set up the connection with LiveU Solo. For some reason, it wasn't behaving properly, so that kind of confused me as to where the output was going from. I thought it would be seen in LiveU, but it actually was in Restream, so I had to like check online just to check on the connections as well as double checking if the setup was done properly. So it was one of those things like when you watch like the tutorials they have there, it's usually like within the settings where you make that one correction and it's all good. Hey, Dr. E. So I was just... Oh, you're talking to Rich. Sorry! So this is gonna get some used to. This right now, the way I've set up is using LiveU as the destination where the stream is going into. I haven't done a test yet with the RTM source, just because, well, I mean, when you're using it as where the source is going into Studio, it's nothing I have seen where it's comparable to like what I've done with other streams where you're setting the feeds like vMix and others into the Restream Studio. So, hey, Matt. So I was just like letting Rich and Dr. E on the YouTube channel just doing a live stream test with the LiveU Solo, in which I'm using LiveU Solo as the destination where the streams are going into, where it pumps out the stream. Right now it's going out to the ShaLaLaLa YouTube channel and to the Livestreaming Friends channel. So I'm just trying to do that. It looks a little different in that because the way it's set up, I'm not sure if I can reply, but let me try. Hang on. Test reply. Hope you can see it. I know that on the Facebook group channel, you won't see the reply, but on the YouTube you should be able to see it. So let me just see that's posted. Okay. Check the stream on your YouTube channel. Okay, that's cool. So let me see, because like the way I've got set up right now is the way I've got it set up right now is I'm using one of the cameras going that way. I don't have vMix on just because I just want to like deal with the direct connection using the LiveU Solo to the computer directly, just to make sure I get a basic understanding of how it's being sent and where it's going from before I start introducing like vMix software in there as to how much it changes to where the output is going into and everything. What is LiveU Solo? Glad you asked. So LiveU Solo I just want to double check on how they define the website, because the last thing I want to do is butcher the explanation. Okay. But the LiveU Solo should be encoder that allows me to output the video stream out. It can operate independently. I could have like a Verizon Jetpack, or like those, I forgot what they call them, but it's like in the form like a USB stick where you can plug in the God, why am I blanking out here? Where you can plug in the I'll get it right. Where it allows you to connect into the internet and stuff. And so let me see if I can show you where it is. So right now I've got the Ethernet, and I believe there's like built-in system to allow to pump out the stream. And what's good about this is that if you're like out in a remote area, this will help power the signal. Usually take up to like 4 different feeds, like an Ethernet, USB connection, even like a Type-C. Like if it takes like 4 different sources to connect to the device to like help either boost or at least give you like internet signal. So if you're doing a live stream remotely and you don't have any access to like a Ethernet jack or what have you, that it would come in handy. So it took me a while to access one, so I was able to borrow one from a colleague just to be able to test it out, as to trying to figure out like an optimal workflow for shoots like that. So, but I didn't have all the parts, or at least the bare minimum to at least be able to do this test until a couple days ago. So, Star Wars reference. It's a mobile. Oh yeah. I would say stronger. I would say like the basic principles of a mobile hotspot, but more powerful. So, and it was just a matter I just didn't have all the right parts, or at least the bare minimum to be able to do a test like that. So ideally, I wanted to test outdoors. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough of the right either jetpacks or the power packs that either connect or at least could supply it to be able to test it out. So at the very least, was able to do a test in indoors. So it's a slightly controlled setting, but my hope is to be able to do something where you're dealing with the outdoor elements and you don't necessarily have something to power with. I know like the colleagues I borrowed, they use it like as an encoder where they're able to like pipe in the Ethernet connection or what have you. But in instances where if you're gonna like stream into like conferences, conventions, stuff like that, it's good to get like a clean independent signal separate from wherever you are, just for the fact that whether it's a convention or a conference and stuff, there are going to be a lot of people using that for their own use, for their own mobile devices. So to have something where it's just devoted to your system is pretty cool. So that's so hopefully I've answered your question, Matt. And if not, just let me know and I'll do my best to try to explain again. Because I'm not using vMix, that's why you don't see me like playing around with the overlays and stuff like that. That's something I'll do in another test. But right now it's just more doing the connection test, making sure where everything goes and how everything looks and how everything's set up. So that's why like when you initially see me testing, I'm like, because the laptop's right here, on we had like early in the month we had like a party with family and relatives. I had to move all the equipment around, so that's why things look a little bit different in terms of where the camera's positioned and stuff. So, thanks, Matt. Okay, so okay, there's a link I can click on and see how it looks on YouTube. Let me just check how where that is. Okay. See, when I was setting up the test, I had to pull the specs from Restream into LiveU Solo, so I didn't see the window in terms of what the text was that accompanies with the video. So I think I might have reused one I did an earlier stream, I think about a week or two. So if you do want to talk, I'm not currently set up for that, but there's always like the chat, the chat section there. I'll just while I'm still on, I'll just keep an eye out, like what I did earlier with Matt. So, okay, so that's neat. I want to jump in and say, hey, I have not forgotten about our stream. I have been going into the office too much. Oh yeah, no worries, Dr. E. I kind of figured that when everyone's going back in the office, that there'd be a lot of, not chaos, but just the matter of just getting used to like how everything's adjusted. So I kind of figured that may have been the case. So, but yeah, look forward to whenever you're ready to the chat. Been kind of doing a little bit, but under different circumstances, whether it's just like either family obligations or just other things I had to juggle. So, but yeah, definitely look forward to be able to talk, just for the fact that that the topic that I want to talk about with where you get those annoying. I don't know if I would say spam, but just for the fact that you get people like reach out to you directly in LinkedIn, and it just, there's no real connection, and they're just really all about making that either that cold call / sales pitch kind of thing, but don't take the time to vested interest to get to know. So it just, anyway, but it is spam. Good thing I had lunch, otherwise I would say I'd be pretty hungry. But yeah, so it got to be a point where it almost felt like, in the ideal world, when we do talk, I'm hoping the outcome would be like the be all end all topic where like once they hear it, they're like, okay, that's not how they're going to use the way how people interact in the direct message with in LinkedIn. But one can only hope. But yeah, but now and then whenever I get notifications on LinkedIn, it's always cool to see like you're as a guest speaker or a featured guest in other people's streams. So that's pretty cool to see. And I hope Rich is still here. But if you're here, if you're still here, Rich, it's always cool to see what's going on with you as to what you got cooking or what things you might have planning coming up. So, but I know you got your hands full as well. I am out and back to work. All right, take it easy, Dr. E. Let's see. I just gotta check to see what other testings I gotta do here. Okay. Let me just get back to the Restream representative. Oh. Currently going live and testing. Let me just take a quick picture just so I can at least get a baseline of how it looks. Okay. Yeah, I think when I was seeing the Restream tutorial, it made it look like that the video player was coming from LiveU when it's actually you can view it within Restream. So I think that would make sense because I was like wondering like how could you view it from LiveU because it doesn't look. I mean, yeah. So. Oh, and there's an embed code you can create. I wonder if I can see the comments and good. There's like a drop down arrow that you could go to see where everything is. Okay, so this is pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna have to try to go in there and try to update the text information if I can, but all right. So this is pretty cool. Yeah, I gotta figure out how I can do a testing outside. What's what I gotta figure out is, see, I know like LiveU Solo, they have like these data plan packages, but that's an investment itself. It makes sense where if you have like gigs lined up where you can do that, but for testing purposes, I don't think it's something where you can go like the Verizon or someone and just like, hey, do you have some data I could just borrow just so I could do a test? Be ideal, but I know that'd be too wistful thinking. But at the very least, I imagine it would have to be something similar where I just have to have the laptop out, Ethernet cords or whatever to connect it, so that I can at least essentially be streaming outside. So that could be another thing I could do to test. But I think before I do that, I'll probably do another test in introducing vMix into the mix with Restream and LiveU Solo. I'll have to think about that. Because yeah, I'll figure something out. But appreciate Dr. E, Rich, Matt jumping in and say hi. So at least gives me something to a little bit think about in terms of just reviewing how the test went and everything. So I'm gonna sign off. So thanks again for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Okay, where do I go to shut off? Oh, here it is. Okay, sorry.